There is nothing like a global pandemic to reveal the inadequacies of our social safety net. Our district has been devastated by COVID. In fact, we are ground zero for it here in Rockland County, which is where I reside. We have the highest rate of COVID infections per capita in the entire United States of America. And so we are really in need of not just the state government, but the federal government to really do its job and to do things like provide essential and immediate cash assistance to all Americans, not just a subset of the American population, but to all Americans. We are relying on an outdated definition of poverty, which, by the way, is applicable all throughout this country. There is no regional variation. So someone living in Mississippi is determined to be poor at the same level as someone living in the lower Hudson Valley in Westchester and in Rockland counties, which is the extremely expensive district to live in that I'm now running to represent in the United States Congress. So we've got to do something about it. We know that, if anything, the cost of living in this country has soared over the past several years. But of course, as with everything in Donald Trump's administration, the cruelty is the point. This is personal for me. I grew up in Section 8 housing and on food stamps, raised by a young single mom who, like so many women all throughout my district and all throughout this country, had to work multiple jobs just to get by. For me, when I see Donald Trump working mightily to shortchange the American people, working people who are fighting to put food on the table for themselves and for their families, but who need government to step in to correct this broken economy that only benefits the super rich and the super well connected. This is a fight that I'm going to be bringing to Washington if I'm fortunate enough to get there to represent the great people in New York's 17th Congressional District. That is so much more reflective of what it actually costs to live in our society than the current definition of $12,700, which couldn't even be used to cover the cost of childcare on a monthly basis, let alone the cost of food, healthcare, and housing. And that is a piece of legislation that I would prioritize and immediately co-sponsor, because I understand that uniquely in my race, what it is like to struggle to get by.